Hello my dear students, how are you all? I am fine and today I am here with the last assignment. So I am very excited for this. And today's topic is a very common topic and a very well known topic, that is ionic bonding. So we begin the discussion with MCQs. A lump of element X can be cut by a knife. When such question is asked in chemistry, always it is about some alkali metal. All the metals are hard solids, but only the alkali metals are soft enough so that they can be cut by a knife. Now you have to see which element is an alkali metal, which belongs to group 1A. The next MCQ is, which of the following is not an ionic compound? Like the ionic compounds consist of ions, and they are always formed when metals combine with non-metals. But when we see the composition of carbon dioxide, both of the bonding elements are non-metallic, so it is not an ionic compound. Okay, the second MCQ is the alkali metals form unipositive ions. How unipositive? First you understand this unipositive. Uni means one and positive means plus one. You just remember that when any atom loses electron, it is positively ionized, and this number tells how many electrons are lost. As it is only one, so it must be the loss of one electron from its valence shell. The next MCQ: which substance will conduct electricity without being chemically changed? So this MCQ is not about the conduction of electricity only. The second hint is without being chemically changed, means without changing the composition. Now a trick in this MCQ, that when electricity is conducted through electrolytic solutions, like the solutions of ionic compounds, then they change their compositions and they are decomposed, and their ions are further reduced and oxidized to give new products. So it cannot be the correct choice. When we see solid sodium chloride, although sodium chloride is an ionic compound, but they do not conduct electricity in their solid states because the ions are fixed in the crystalline pattern. When we see the sulfur, sulfur is a non-metal. It is not a conductor of electricity. But when we see the option has solid iron in it. Iron is a metal, and metals are very good conductors of electricity. So the option B is the absolutely correct answer for this MCQ. Theory section. Define ionic bonding. Explain the formation of ionic bond with an example. A very easy and routine question, just to get your concepts checking. Now, bonding means the relationship between atoms, the attractive force which can hold the atoms together. So when the bonding is ionic, means this force of attraction is between ions, and there are two types of ions: positive ions or cations, negative ions or anions. Now how these ions are formed? This is the main answer. When we see the metals have very less number or low number of electrons in their valence shell. We take example of sodium. Sodium atomic number is 11, and the structure shows, the electronic configuration tells us that sodium has 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and it has only 1 electron in the outermost shell or valence shell. Now to get a stable configuration of neon, that is of its previous neon gas, instead of gaining 7 more electrons to completely fill third orbit or shell, sodium atom prefers to lose this outermost electron to get the stable-most configuration of neon. So sodium loses 1 electron and positively ionized, like this. Sodium becomes stable. When we see towards the anion of this compound, sodium chloride, chlorine has 17 electrons in its atom, and these 17 electrons are arranged as 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, and 7 electrons are in the third shell. As you see, 17 electrons and 7 electrons in the valence shell. How it can attain the configuration of argon? That's the coming next noble gas. It will be needing only 1 more electrons. So chlorine gain 1 electron to get the configuration of argon, and chlorine will be ionized negative. Now chlorine is stabilized. So when both of the atoms gain and lose electrons, they are ionized and very strongly attracted. This bonding is called as ionic bonding, in which the electron is permanently transferred from sodium atom to chlorine atoms. The next part is oxygen reacts with magnesium to form magnesium oxide. Now you have to see what is the electronic structure of magnesium and oxygen. Now after writing the electronic configuration, just see how many electrons are present in the outermost shell. How many electrons magnesium should be losing and how many electrons oxygen will be requiring to attain noble gas configurations. What is their nature of bonding and what are their charges on? Next part is ionic compounds are hard solids. Why? It is the force of attraction which is the strongest, because it is electrostatic force of attraction. They are tightly packed together, and this becomes the reason they are solids. Ionic compounds conduct electricity when molten or in solution, but not in the solid state. Why? The current is carried by ions, not by the compounds, and ionic compounds exist in solid state in which the ions are not free to move. If they are not free to move, how come they will be carrying current or electricity and they will be reaching on the electrodes? So solid state will not be good to conduct electricity. But when they are molten, means when they are melted or when they are in their solution form, their ions are dissociated or separated and they are free to move here and there. So the mobility of ions in the solution or towards the oppositely charged electrodes become the reason for the conduction of electricity. Last question is how cations and anions are formed. As I explained the formation of sodium chloride in the very first section, I explained enough about the formation of ions. Class, I am leaving you with the hope that you will be writing the answers, correct answers for this worksheet, and today's discussion was very helpful in writing the answers with full confidence. I'm ending the discussion here because this was the last worksheet, and now you fairly write your answers and sum them up on the given date. And I'm leaving you with a hope that if any of the discussion is missing, you can get it from the channel. Thank you, class. Wish you very good luck for this, and God bless you. Take care.